Davies Disc Locker, where I play courses blind so you don't have to. Today we're at Turner Park in Grand Prairie, Texas. This is one of the closer courses to my house, but I don't play it very often, unfortunately. Par 58, 7,100 feet, got 18 holes, lots of pin positions, so you'll kind of just get a glimpse of the course today. Hole 1, par 3, 428 feet. This is one of the longer positions. A lot of OB on this one. There is a excuse me, the first light pole on the right is a Mando, and then the concrete around this little building up on the green is OB. So the more you can bite off on the tee, the better, although that is usually how disc golf goes. But if you don't have a ton of accuracy over that 350 mark, maybe just chipping up. Although it is uphill, so if you're kind of short, the basket will be blind to you. I'm going glitch here because I'm on the right side of the fairway, and I just flipped the heck out of it into the road. So there is a sidewalk leading up to the front of this building in like a traditional front walkway entrance, but there is a sidewalk that surrounds the building, so lots of OB around this mystery building here. Great tee shot from Gavin here. He's just pitching up a little putter. Hazard's out a little early. It's a little breezy. Although that flag on top of the basket is doing nothing, so maybe it's not as breezy as I remember. Doesn't matter. He cashes it. Hole 2, par 3, 358 feet downhill. This little stone pillar does kind of get in your head a little bit if you're wanting to throw straight at it, but if you're bigger arms, you're just going to throw something flat and stable that's going to hyzer out back towards the basket. Grant kind of softened one out there. Circle 2 bid. Gives it a good run, kind of rolls out to the right side, which he does cash his par there. And if you penetrate into this tree line on the right side of the screen, there is a fairly steep hill down to water. You don't want to be down there at all. Common theme here is going to be well-worn greens around the basket where you are going to skip, you are going to maybe bounce or roll, being one of the older courses in the DFW area. Hole 3, the Clown's Mouth hole, 362 feet downhill. It's not quite enough left for like a Firebird. Maybe something just a little straighter than that. Because if you get up and ride and skip too much, there is a road behind the basket, OB. And if you go too straight, there's a road over there, OB. So I actually threw a Bobcat off the tee. Just trying to give myself a long bid at a 2. And if it gets some extra ground play, that's just bonus. But I'm not really trying to park this hole. This is a great place to be, though, because you're not putting towards the OB from over here. I think he did actually throw a Firebird, kind of a flippy Firebird. He'll probably let me know in the comments. Yeah, this is where my Bobcat ended up. Pretty good. Just going to give it like a little spushy bid. Chain out left side. Didn't commit to it very well. I'm going to walk across the street to this guy. You got a Mando left and a Mando right. Got to throw it between those trees. Basket is on a hillside. If you hyzer out early for the right-hand backhand, you can find your way down that embankment to the street. Seems like if you're lefty or righty, the flex is kind of the play. And just like hole 2, if you go deep, there is a hill down to the water there. This is where my grackle ended up. Put a little too much flex on it. Fortunate for that to stay close, though. I've seen that same bid roll away really bad. Hole 5, par 3, 374 feet, low ceiling, tight-ish gap. It's smaller than the Clown's Mouth. This one has a couple of different pin positions. It is usually up the hill on the right, though, so this is definitely a forehand hole for most right-handed players, but I like to max the ceiling out. That was a hex. Gavin's going Roadrunner. Got him. I believe this is an FD3 for Justin. Puts a nice move on that thing. You can see lots of roots and stuff to catch your disc, to keep it from fighting up this hill. There's some danger behind the basket, but being as uphill doesn't come into play very often. Hole 6, par 3, 341 feet. The telephone pole straight. You got to go left of that. That is a mandatory. And the further you get down this fairway, the more of a peninsula it is between the road/parking spots and the edge of the hill on the left. Just throw something out there nice and straight. This is in the deepest position today. Great shot from Justin there, getting between the wire and the pole. But if you stay up top, that's what you're looking at. You're having to... Or no, this isn't the longest position. It's the second longest. There's one that's a total death putt on the edge, kind of like that pole that's in towards the center of the screen. But yeah, from here it's just a bid to stay close and get a par, because it is a very rolly hillside. Hole 7, par 3, 207 feet. There's so many things you can do in this hole. You could throw a grenade, you could throw a thumber, you could throw a tomahawk, forehand, backhand. Throwing Phoenix, standstill forehand. My forehand game is trash. Should have maybe thrown the alpha, disked down just a little bit. I didn't get the flex on it that I wanted. That's much better, and that's fighting back. Gavin, I did not throw his tee shot because he threw some crazy Sky God shot, and this is what can happen. Thick grass right now, so it didn't roll too far, but ugh, happens a lot. Great 2. Hole 8, par 3, 339 feet, OB property on the right, or OB rocks on the right. There is a concrete pad down there that disc almost made it to, that's OB. And then if you go too straight, there is a ditch and water. It's not too long of a hole. I like something slow and understable. This is a common mistake you see here. That was an eagle. Just pulled it a little bit. Getting razzed by some chickens. And I'm just going mid-range today. Little overturned, but we'll take that for sure. This is about halfway down the fairway where Gavin's eagle ended up. You can see how close OB is behind the basket there. Good up. Trying to sneak a birdie. OB. It was dry though, which is nice because that water looked nasty. Hole 9, par 3, 265 feet. This is a fun little ace run hole. Kind of low ceiling, couple of gaps to shoot. There is a lot of bushes and a hill and poison ivy behind the basket. A mind bender here, getting sneaky. But really, as long as you don't turf it and you make it past this initial wall of trees, you should be getting out of here with a par. But this is a fun one to give a good ace run to. Bullet for me, right into the hill. But got a nice open look at this upshot here. Should be getting a 3 unless you yank it and find those bushes behind the green. And it is a low ceiling thrown into this green, so it's got some teeth, even though it's a little short hole. Just don't mess it up. Or throw it long, lay it up, get your par. Anyways, hole 10, 270 feet. I love this hole. It is deceivingly straight. The fairway kind of leads you to believe you need to flex something, but it is a super straight hole. You just have to decide, are you going to go for it or not? Because there is a creek, edge of the circle, short of the basket. Great longhorn shot there. Early release, but it's got enough turn and enough fight. I totally blocked the shot. Rookie move. But you'll see where I ended up. Papa G. Heiser out early with that lefty backhand. Would have parked the other position. He's forced to just pitch it up. I just snuck dry. Couldn't capitalize. Gavin yanking some putts, but there's a look at the green. What a goober. Hole 11, 324 feet. This is in one of the shorter positions. It's not quite as far down to the left as that map shows. You can actually see this shorter position off of the tee. Lots to go wrong on this hole. You've got the street up on the right. There is a Mando up there to the right too, to take that big sweeping hyzer out of play, keeping discs out of the road. If you kick a tree, you could end up down by 5's tee pad. Get to play a little safari route. We're all actually throwing this thing pretty good, getting caught up by some late trees, but we'll take it. We're still on the correct fairway. Soft bid from Gavin. And my Bobcat actually snuck up pretty okay. Edge of circle, I'm thinking. Doink. That was a good sit. Hole 12, 295 feet. This is one of the more dangerous holes on the course. It is a gentle left to right shot the whole way. Low ceiling, tons of water. It's a 295-foot hole, and I bet there's 400 feet of shoreline, at least. Maybe close to 500 feet of shoreline on this hole. I made it past the first pool, almost to the creek. Threw another bad forehand, splashed it down on another section of the creek, just short of the green. Nice little floaty forehand pitch up. Believe that splashed down as well. Justin kicked that cedar. We thought it was splashed down. It just splatted in some mud on the bank. It is good. Papa G pitching up. Yeah, I almost made it to the green with my bad forehand, but this is for 4, 5. And this part of the course can get really muddy. On to hole 13, par 4, 574 feet. They did lose a tree recently, so that's what that little post is with the Mando sign. Really low through this gap is the play. I think, yeah, I cut my shot. I tried to go over the top, it didn't work out. This is a pretty decent landing zone. Kind of got gobbled up by the grass. Got about 100-footer left here. Oh yeah, a man and his caddy. He's loving it. Giving the mock a hug. That's what we play for. Lucky hole 13. Annie Hoosers. He's got the box with that sweet birdie. Hole 14, 375 feet downhill the whole way. Asking for it to get under that low branch that kind of captures a lot of these backhand turnovers, like, spoiler alert, you're going to see right here. Starts it off to the left nicely. Little late turn into that branch. Then kind of overcorrect, throw it right at that branch. Overturn it to the other side of the fairway. This is what it looks like from there, pitching up. This is what it looks like from down low, which honestly is a better look at the basket. There's my upshot on the stump. Ooh, great three. It's another one of those fast greens where if you come in with too much speed, you can shoot way out of position. Hey, that was a goofy, stinking putt. It felt good to make that one. Hole 15, 377 feet. We're playing this on a holiday weekend on a Sunday, and so the basket is directly past those vehicles on the other side of that pavilion, which obviously we can't play through that. When no one's there, you can play it that way, but concrete is OB, so it's kind of risky. But today we are just playing it as straight as possible and then all chipping towards the basket. Basically taking birdie out of play, but we're also hitting innocent bystanders out of play, because that is a pavilion with picnic tables and grills and stuff that presumably they rented it. So I'm going to keep them out of harm's way. I got almost pin high, but so far to the left. So I am out, but put it nicely in zone range. Just a little standstill hyzer chipper. Got this weird little electrical area. I think he's gonna go right at it. Can be risky. You don't want to hit that tree and kick back into it, but he hits that nice big gap pretty easily. And this is what he's left with. Cashes it. There's a good roll chance on this green as well. Just like that. Oh, it curled up in frame. That's not too bad. Hole 16, par 4, 685 feet. We got a halo wraith there. Nice and high and turning. That's what you want, something that's going to pan after you get past these Mando trees here. Some of the telephone poles are Mandos as well to keep you from throwing out over the road. Keep you in the fairway where all the trees are. So that wraith was a little overturned. This is the right amount of turn, but not the right amount of height. So I'm up first, kind of pinched against this tree here. I'm going apex swirl bullet, because it's so downhill. I got a little bit of height to work with in the initial part of the flight, and somehow it fought through past the basket. Dink, but that's what the green looks like. There's a creek where that bridge is. Hole 17, another par 4, 450 feet, but a dogleg left. You got the road immediately in front of you, which pretty much never comes in play. Road on the right, road deep, which is hard to get in play. And if you saw it off early into those trees, there is a creek that you could drop into. Yeah, that face says it all. Nice and low, hyzer. Probably would have loved to give that some more height, but it got some ground play. This is not a terrible spot to be. Got a little better footing here than you would 10 or 15 feet in front, so not bad. It's over these blue tents. There's no one under the tents. They're just set up prior to whatever party's going on later. Yank that bullet. Unfortunately, I'm left with this to save my 4. You didn't see my upshot out of the trees. No bueno. Hole 18, par 5. It is only 831 feet today. There is a shorter position and there is a longer position that's over 1,000 feet. There is a Mando up at maybe about 1 o'clock. There's a power pole with an electrical box on it with the Mando arrow. Really, you just want to get it straight up to where the sky is meeting the horizon, where no trees are in the way, like that. And you just want to make it far enough straight that you have a straight look towards your next approach drive, I would call it, because there's a huge open field up there. You got to rip it across. Going Big Z Zeus, trying to get some turn, and I guess sneaky here. I went overly aggressive, but I'm playing bad today, so we're keeping it up. This is a little short. The Mando is still in play here. And if you don't crest that hill, this is what you're looking at. Papa G also a little short. Honestly, a little more pinch than Justin was because he can't go inside of that last. Are those mesquite trees? I think those are mesquite trees. They've got thorns on them. Nice and smooth as always. Under the branches there. So the eagle off the tee. I think this is a trace next. You got a couple Mandos on the right side as well. Keep people from throwing over the road. And there is a Mando left that I found time before last. I had no idea it was even there, but it's such a long hole, it's hard to fit all those fine details on the tee pad, but they are marked with painted arrows. And that is a little too far left. He's safe, but it's going to really restrict his shot option. I would ideally like to be about where this path is, but I'm throwing something stable directly at that Mando and just skipping into the middle. Pretty pleased with that. And this is where it starts to get tricky, because from here it's either a layup or try and throw like a touchy turnover into the green, but it's still about 350 feet at least from there. And this is what I'm talking about with Gavin's second shot. It's a little pinched on the left side because he's got to play around that Mando. Honestly, not a bad shot at all. My third, no, that's my second shot. Landed pretty much right where I would want to be after 2. It's actually probably one of my better shots after 2 on this hole. I yammed on that Phoenix, and I really shouldn't have. You'll see how far past the basket I am. About 50 or 60 feet. I really didn't need to do that. I should have thrown Bobcat, maybe even zone. But when I really want to yam on the shot, I like going with those faster, more overstable discs so they don't turn because there's the road. Anyways, this is what the green looks like down here for this middle position. Lots of trees overhead, so they kind of protect those spiking shots. You gotta navigate under the trees if you want to keep it clean. And that's Turner Park in Grand Prairie, Texas. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Let me know you like the video. Any feedback is always appreciated. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you out there.